Greetings and welcome everybody to the Jane Love Miracle Medicine on a Thursday, where we discuss up-to-date, leading-edge information, case studies, testimonies, and what's going on in general. So today I'm going to be talking about demystifying why we get sick, and in particular having a look at the change in consciousness at the moment, having a look at forgotten, unknown, or unknown emotions, having a look at how do we self-manifest infections, how to cleanse and detox. I've got a whole array of specials on for you, so climb in and let's get clean. Let's detox these parasites and toxins for not forever, because it's never going to be forever, but let's clear them, let's put them at bay, and then we can move on to the next phase and detox and detox and detox. It is an ongoing thing. Unfortunately, with the 700,000 or so toxins out there and one little body, one little liver to deal with them, we do need to keep detoxifying. So with the cleansing, I'm going to be having a look at the physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual side of us. I'll be having a look at our HOW program, which releases emotions, and have a look at the 365 Reset, Restore, Rejuvenate, and Rejoice physical program. And I've got two fantastic case studies to share with you. So it's not going to be a long session today. I also have pre-recorded the 365 Parasite Cleanse products and detoxification products, really. So when I post the video, I will be posting the MPF4 recording. So that's not up for today. Okay, so then let's get going. For those of you who know me, it's Jane Mackenzie, and I'm a natural pharmacist. I'm operating from my 365 Healthy by Choice Center in Bryanston. It's a global virtual 24/7 center, and we have clients internationally, and we send products globally, and we do our best to assist people with their journey to holistic well-being consciousness. And that is beyond duality. It's beyond the everyday, buy a bottle and you think you're going to get better, buy a herb and you think it's going to make you get better. That's not true. So it's really beyond all that. And really enjoy pioneering in this field. I've just handed in my doctorate on holistic well-being for marking, and I'm looking forward to receiving that back. So here we go today. Demystifying why we get sick. I can give you numerous of case studies. Every single client that comes in has virtually a case study. And people come in for all sorts of reasons. They're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. They've been everywhere and they're still sick and they're still tired. They've tried the allopathic route and it hasn't assisted them with a chronic disease. So they're really looking for a natural solution. And they arrive at the center, and what we do is, embrace the situation holistically. We will do a benchmark assessment. Those that you've been to my center will know what I'm talking about. We'll do a quantum health assessment. We've got two options there. We'll often do a live blood analysis and really get to the nuts and bolts, really get to the crux of the health risks. The clients see those health risks. We will also examine the root causes. And these can be numerous. They can be physical. The body will be representing certain disorders. Behind those disorders are the emotional disorders. So we get to the root cause beyond the physical, if that makes sense. I often say to clients, look, I can fill my desk with, 350 products. The most expensive imported, you name it, products designed by whoever. But if we don't get underneath the physical, the body's representation of disorder and find the emotion there, we're not going to win. I can carry on adding products to the desk. And so many people come in and they've got shelves of products. They bought this, someone's recommended that, Dr. Google said this, And it becomes a bit chaotic. It's a bit of a fiasco. There's products everywhere, and eventually they take nothing, and it all lies there and goes off, and they keep thinking that they will take it, and they keep it on the shelf, and they never do. So let's just demystify all of this. The first thing one must do is get a baseline benchmark on the physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual space. So that can be done easily with the QUXED. That's the NASA quantum device. It's the upgraded version of the SCIO. Once you've got that, by the way, that device treats disorder back as well. So it'll send bioresonance electromagnetic frequencies back to the clients who reorder them. We can then set about reducing the causes and demystifying and getting underneath the body and addressing the emotions. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. In amongst this really, really fast shift in consciousness that we're all experiencing. And the body is going to react to that consciousness as well. It might react with pain, inflammation, diarrhea, constipation, headache. All sorts of things can happen to the body because the body's also consciously shifting. Our mind, there's lots and lots of people coming in with anxieties, depressions, sadnesses, feeling they don't belong on the earth. All these kind of disorders are coming through on a mental side. The emotional side we know, but we don't always get to, and I'm going to explain how we do get to it. And on a spiritual side, well, that would be your inner knowing in any event. And, that is part of who you are. So we've got to look at all of these things specifically before we can even start. And that's why I'm saying we do the physical assessment. We'll reset the body, we'll restore the body, we'll rejuvenate the body, and then we'll rejoice. And rejoicing is when everything comes together holistically. So that's the real difference. We measure before, we measure afterwards as well. So parasites are a really interesting topic, and I'm not going to say a lot about it because there's a lot of robots out there. But we do get naturally occurring pathogens that will arise out of our body spontaneously. The beneficial organisms will shift into the opportunistic pathogen form and go and help fight an infection or a toxin or anything that's in the body along with the white blood cells. So that happens naturally. And those pathogens are not contagious. The ones that are contagious are generally the synthetic ones, the GM ones. And those, because they come in all forms and different guises, and we can easily catch those. Those we have to be careful because they're transmissible. And how do I know that? Because I use my live blood, my microscope, and I can see what's happening. I can see what's happening in the people, in the bloods, and on the quantum QUXED, I can see also where there's been exposure to certain different GM parasites. So that being said, we've got to know what we're doing, and we've got to know, the body's response, and also whether the body's immune system is wired to find some of these synthetic parasites. So not really, it's not actually. So we have to know that as well, and we have to prepare and get ourselves organized. So as I look at the quantum, as I look at the microscope, under the microscope, I just see more and more and more emerging. So it's also an ongoing thing. It's not a finite thing. And I see different forms, different shapes, and different things. So we have to be aware that there's also, morphing into different forms and so on. If we're shifting in this kind of consciousness, and I'm now drawing on my doctorate research as well, where researchers have found, for example, Trevanini in 2019 found that consciousness is directly related to disease. And I'm going to vouch for that because I can see that. So when our emotions and our consciousness are in disorder, there's going to be a physical representation by the body, a disease. And this is almost like the turning point here, because if we understand that the body is speaking to us all the time, if there's an ache, a pain, a pull, a push, butterflies, whatever it might be, the body's telling us there's an emotional disorder 99% of the time. I could even say 100% of the time, but some of it might be a man-made toxin ache or pain. But never mind. We've got to take this into consideration, and we've got to look at the body's also ability to self-manifest some of these parasites almost out of consciousness, in order to wake the body up to tell us we need to shift. There's an emotion to heal. That's what I'm seeing in my practice. I'm seeing the people coming in with aches and pains and so on. And when I go there and I say to them, if that ache or pain had words, what would it be telling you? And it goes straight to an emotion. I'm often working alongside with the QUEXED, and I'm seeing the exact mirror image. Some people came in to talk to me about a business, holistic business orientation, my HBO program. And exactly what happened. It told me, because you can put the business onto the quantum as well, that at gestation, I forget exactly which week, let's say 34, and age 14, this is true, there were 2 blockages. But she had just already told me that she had gone into the business without having done any research. So the gestation, the birth of the business was a blockage. She just went for it without thinking. And then at age 14, they had actually joined with a certain partnership of people, and that had disastrous consequences. There's a massive blockage there that needed to be removed. So until I removed those 2 blockages from a business point of view, that business couldn't proceed. There were blockages. And similarly with us, when I'm running alongside the quantum or without the quantum, I'll find also patterns of disorder that are repeating. And once we've uncovered all of that, we go to the last one we can think of, and we start healing from there. And that will take us often deeper into the ancestral lineage, the mother, the father, the granny, the grandpa, the great-granny, the great-grandfather, etc., often into villages, often into ancient tribes. So we're carrying all these molecules. We're carrying all these molecules in us, not knowing it, not obvious, no one told us. And suddenly, some of the molecules wake up and we've got to deal with something, and it manifests in mucus, it manifests in a sore hand, hormonal problems, anxiety, depression. So we need to be on the button all the time as to what's happening. And we have the perfect barometer, our body. And I was working with somebody today, and she said to me, the shift needs to be embodied in us. So we work with self-transformation and self-realization. So I consider myself a catalyst, an educator, if you like, and we will work with the physical disorders, and we will work with the emotional disorders. And the most important thing is that the person feels better. Not only does it show it on our devices, they feel better, they look better, and there's often feedback from other people. Wow, you're looking different. The energy is different. The life force is different. So what am I saying? In order to clear these parasites, we've got to be on top of our emotion, because a lot of the time we self-manifest the parasites. We're going to have to accept that. We're going to have to accept that they're here, that they're around us, and that us as humans are fully responsible for whatever's here. We have to stand up and deal with it and move on. And these challenges, let's put it that way, are our ways of learning. They are our ways of moving forward. That is what we term the trial and the tribulation, So every single obstacle, trial, blockage is there to teach us something. And more often than not, it is a person or people that are involved. And we tend to blame the people That's the first and obvious thing. No, it's about saying, what if these people, whether it is even your mother or your father that's come to teach you something, what is it that they came to teach us? Sometimes in self-sacrifice. Sometimes children die in self-sacrifice to teach the family. Sometimes children are born autistic to teach the family. So sometimes all sorts of things happen for all of us to learn. If you have a look at the world at the moment, what are we learning from this world at the moment? What are we seeing out there and what are we learning? I'm going to leave that question with you, because as without, so within. So the war within us is what we're seeing outside. The missiles that are getting fired there are happening within us too. And we need to stop the war. And in doing that, we've got to shift our consciousness and clear it. And the only way to shift it is to clear it. So, in summary, we've got to help the body, the physical temple, call it that way, that allowed us to incarnate on the earth. That's got to hold us. And it does need to be fed properly. And we know the foods that are right to heal us. You can look it up anyway. We know the right foods. We know what not to eat. We don't all know the value of detoxification. And by that, I mean exercising where you're sweating, sauna, things like shiatsu, massage, yoga. Those are all ways of movement and detoxifying the body. Very, very important, including our oxygen therapies, our Ormus golds, our DMSOs, and I'm going to show you a few in a moment. So those are all the ways of physical detoxifying. Yes, we're getting that now. We're understanding that, and it's important because there's more toxins out there than we can actually deal with. Okay, and some of them we're self-manifesting, like I've spoken to you already. So we it's a bit of a losing battle unless we detoxify. We look at our lifestyle. We look at how late we go to bed. We look at how long we stare at the screen. We look at whether we get in the sun, whether we put our feet on the ground, whether we're breathing properly, whether we're hydrating properly, whether we're frying our foods, and that type of thing. All very important. We look at our stress levels, what's causing us stress. If you're stressed, you're not in the flow. And that is a perfect test. When you're in the flow and when you're in the peace and the calm, things flow easily, like a leaf on a river flowing past the rocks down a river. Then you're in the flow. If you're doing things causing stress, you're not in the flow. And it's affecting every single cell in your body. It's causing adrenaline to be released, cortisol to be released, all the stress hormones. And that will have consequences for our cells and the health of our cells. So stress needs to be looked at, the causes of the stress removed where possible. And then, as I say, the emotions. And the emotions will deal also with neurological and spiritual. So the body's the point, and from there we will venture into the neurological, emotional, and spiritual factors. So we're ending up with a well-being, a holistic well-being with a raised consciousness. So each one of those trials and tribulations, challenges, each one that we conquer raises our consciousness. And the next one will come along and raise our consciousness. So that's the story of life. And it's all very important about knowing who you are and why you're here. And that's what we do. That's what we do in the sense. It's find out who we are and why we're here. Once we've got that and we felt it and we know it, we've embodied it, there's no looking back. So I want to tell you about 2 case studies today. The first one, somebody got sick and they realized quite soon there's a terrible headachy, fluey, achy manifestation at the moment. And if you leave it, it will go into the chest. So this person came, they picked it up quickly, and we immediately did a HAL session, holistic ancestral orientation. We immediately started the cell oxygen drops, the DMSO, the microbiome reset, flaxseed oil, healthy food, light food, the RNA, DNA, replica. Because what happened was we saw in the quantum, then all the hormones were flattened, the neurotransmitters were flattened, the proteins were flattened. So whatever the self-manifestation of us, and we've We've all the people who are infected by it have all manifested it. You see, it didn't just arrive. you can go through those theories if you want as well, but we've self-manifested it in order to shift, in order to cope with the conscious changing. It's so positive. And our ancestors knew this. They would probably lie down and rest, not us. We try and work and we try and do everything at the same time, and we're not conscious that we're consciously shifting. So anyway, we did this. We did massage, and that person was well the next day. They felt well immediately afterwards, and they were well the next day. Other people, it's taking 2 weeks to get better. So we went to the emotion. We dealt with it completely. And the person was free and well. Another lady today came in. She just came back from overseas, and she was sniffing and coughing and everything. So immediately I took out my white plate, which some of you will be familiar with, and I put the oxygen drops on there so that there was a bit of a barrier between me and her, because I didn't know what she might have picked up on the island or in the plane or whatever was coming my way. And same thing. She wanted to move on in her business. So I said to her, we need to work out first what your blockages are. And she said, I need to know my purpose. I feel I'm not moving on. There's a money issue. There's blockages. So we did magnificent process. And we dealt with mom's issues and dad's issues. We merged it all together and brought the business in, and we resolved what she needed to do. It was absolutely beautiful. It was indescribable. She knew explicitly what to do. It wasn't maybe. And these are the results of working in the quantum field of consciousness. You're getting a definitive way forward. If you're working in the everyday consciousness, it could be this, it could be this. It's very confusing and muddling. In the field, the quantum field, the unified field, you get a definitive answer. It was unbelievable. She got her answer. She knew exactly what to do. And I said to her, what's happened to your coughing and your sniffing and that? It had absolutely gone. So I was spellbound. Because, this is pioneering stuff. This is getting to the root cause. It's getting to it quickly. It's understanding the body that's in a state of disorder, presenting, with dis-ease, a disease even, going straight to where the manifestation is, getting the emotion out, living it, finding the end point, the beginning point of it. Where did this start? Where was the piece before it all? Unraveling it, handing the memories back, and standing there in wholeness. And that's just what I wanted to share with you. It was absolutely beautiful. So those of you who are keen to do any of this work, please, chat to me, because we can really move. We can really move on this. So let me just show you the specials to go along with what we're doing. I'm going to share this. All right. So I'm on my website, and let me see if it's going to work. I think I might have to just go to the next page because it's not live. Hold on a second. Let's just go there. Where is it there? I just want to go onto the cell page. So with the parasite cleanse and the are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Look what I've put together. So what I've put together here is our parasite cleansing promotion from now until end of May. If you book 2 services, any one of my services, and we're going to look at them in a moment, you get 1 free. So you'll get, when you come for your let's say your how session or your quantum session or your normal assessment or your live blood, when you're here, we'll book the free one. Okay, and then also there's a 15% off from our selected range of parasite cleansers, and the discount is applied immediately at checkout. So there's a book one, get one free on the services and a 15% off on the products. So the services, what are we talking about? We're talking about our infrared saunas. And again, we're getting unbelievable results with the infrared sauna. People building collagen, people, healing joints, the spine, spinal energy improving, the skin improving, the organs improving, detoxification is really huge, energy levels improving, sleep improving. So this is our far infrared. It's 14 microns. You don't often get a 14 micron. I've got 2 of these saunas. Then we got a live blood analysis, and this is so revealing. And, people are shocked because when you tell them their blood is thick, when you tell them there's fatty pools in their blood, when you tell them there's parasites in the blood, they have no idea. They have no visual of it at all. So we do the benchmark analysis, and then we show them. And then, they are absolutely converted. They have to do something. They have to get the parasites out, the oil out, change their diet, get onto exercising and thin the blood and clean the blood and all sorts of things. So this is amazing. And we will discuss nutrition, detox, lifestyle, and food there as well. So when you book one, when you come in, you will get a free one. We've also got our oxygen drips, and these are amazing. You can go and read all about this on our website. Again, you book one and you're going to get another one free. And we've also got an immune bomb, which has got all the vitamins and minerals, which is really great for people who are not absorbing properly and want to feel immediate effects from the antioxidants. Bearing in mind the oxygen drip is an oxidant drip. And then we've also got the follow-up. So you can book the follow-up as opposed to, let me just show you there, as opposed to the first booking. You see the first booking, it goes further up here. Anyway, there's further up. The first booking for the quantum is 1,790. The follow-up is that price. So those are the services, buy one, get one free. Now we've got all our products, and these are the whole price before the sale, because you'll get your discount as you exit. So we've got our Zeolite, paramagnetic rock dust for the gut to take out the uric acid. We've got Triphala fruit enzymes for the gut and the blood. We've got a Parastop and the Para-Immune. The Parastop is within the Para-Immune. So Parastop would be more maybe for a lighter detox. The Para-Immune will get rid of any parasite that shouldn't be in the body. I've specifically formulated it. The Ormus gold is the biggest detoxifying agent on the planet. There's a smaller bottle. There's a medium-sized bottle. Gold enters the blood-brain barrier immediately. It detoxifies the whole body. It was used in bubonic plague. And so we'll take about a teaspoon of that a day. We've got our wonderful nattokinase. It's busy clearing what we're finding in the blood. As a result of, the last sort of 5 years, we're seeing really funny objects in the blood. So the nattokinase, together with our glutathione, together with our zeolite, together with our Ormus gold, our cell vitality OxyMinerals, and our DMSO. And I'm not going to not mention the microbiome reset and the flaxseed oil. And the Replica RNA, I'm going to have to put that one in there because that restores the proteins so that we can restore the nucleus of the cell, of the tissue, of the organ, of the body system. So very important, those enzymes, probiotic 80 to 120 live strains, plus enzymes, second generation brew. So we've used the zeolite, the pollen, the medicinal mushrooms, the algae, and everything. We've second generation brewed it with those vital nutrients, and we're getting other nutrients that aren't even in textbooks. That stuff is magic. There's our golden flaxseed oil. And those of you who are not sure of that, go to my YouTube channel, Jane Mackenzie, put in the search bar flaxseed oil, and you will find the videos. The educational videos on flaxseed oil, but it forms a lubricant lining in the lungs and in the gut for the transfer of oxygen and food into the blood. Another lining around the cell membrane, so that the oxygen and food can go in. It's also for the brain, the omegas, all of them. in the right ratio for the human body. And most importantly, is that the potential across the cell membrane and the membranes of the gut and the lungs. Very important. All clear. We'll get our the chemical and environmental toxins out. There's our glutathione, and we have a couple of versions of glutathione. We also have one that's got with vitamin C. So you can buy Phytosterol-C on its own, or you can buy it with the glutathione. And then we've got our cell oxygen and our DMSO. And these are all on special 15% off. The Chunkapiedra to remove the calcification. I'm getting so many people with calcified brains, calcified pineal glands. You all know what that means. I mean, that's vital for our consciousness. So this is the product for decalcification of the brain, the glands, vessels, liver, kidney, prostate, cells. Diatomaceous earth we're using more and more and more. It's silica-rich, diatoms from the sea, fossilized seabed, sea animals, if you like, on the seabed. It is remarkable. And the silicon is very important for our evolution as well. And then we've got our famous castor oils. It's hexane-free. We've got an organic and a non-organic form. And vital to assist with detoxification. We've got the smaller bottle, the 100 ml bottle we use for oral detoxification of the gut. We've got our blood cleanse and restore, and we've got our all-in-one kit. So this is a starter kit, and actually it doesn't matter what's wrong with you. You start there. And there's the price there, and of course it's a further 15% off. So that's a real deal, that one. You can get it all in one go. So that's what I wanted to show you. There's 15% off on all of those, and the service is buy one, get one free. And I'm just going to stop sharing. And so that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm certainly glad to be back. And there'll be more and more, and I will certainly post the recording of my training at one of the health pharmacies on parasites. Okay,